I am so proud of myself. I have to tell you, I'm one of those people that doesn't really celebrate, but the internal satisfaction is huge. Just don't be shy. You'll live once. So just go ahead. Just ask questions. You'll never get anything if you don't ask.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you do and what were you doing before you even jumped into this whole entrepreneurship journey?
Of course. Thank you, Cam, for having me, and thank you and to Travis for inviting me and finding my story interesting enough to be published and broadcasted on your channel. So a little bit about myself. I currently live in USA. I was born and raised in Serbia in Europe, and came here when I was 22 as a student, fell in love, stayed here, so on and so forth. Now I have 3 kids. We live in New Hampshire right now, and we lived closer to Boston in Massachusetts, but then moved to New Hampshire. So I'm a East Coast girl, I can say that. So I worked prior to staying home now with kids. I worked in hospitality. I worked at W, then worked for kind of corporate Marriott office for group sales. Then after that, I ran properties as a property manager. So, and then in between all those jobs, I had 3 kids. So I had periods when I stopped working, then I went back when my first got a little bit older, then I got pregnant with twins. So then I decided to step down again and give myself a little bit of a break. I mean, you can't say really staying home with twins is a break, but you know what I mean. Trying not to stretch myself too thin. I'm kind of, that's my spirit. I kind of can't sit still. So I always have some ideas. And actually, the funny story is that right before I got pregnant with my first, I was exploring Amazon, and I had an idea of starting my own store, and I went all the way to talking to China, talking to suppliers. My idea was those silicone mats for baking that are pretty popular on Amazon. I started the Seller Central profile, and this was, I'm telling you, probably 7 years ago, even more. I got suppliers from China send me the samples, and I got into it completely. And then when it came time to ordering, and I don't know, this story might resonate with a lot of people watching. When it came time to ordering, I just chickened out. I just didn't do it. And plus, I got a offer from job. I got a promotion, and I was like, oh, okay, it's meant to be. You see, I'm getting promotion, so I'm just gonna stop daydreaming about Amazon. 7 years later, this opportunity now got created based on all that effort I put in 7 years ago. So you know how when you get older and you all of a sudden realize that it's like a puzzle, just pieces are kind of clicking together. So I'm on Instagram, and randomly this guy that's jumping rope starts popping up out of nowhere. Every once in a while, I'm scrolling, and there he is again, and there he is again. I'm like, oh my goodness! And then I realized we have a few of my friends are following him, so algorithm is doing its thing. So I click on his profile, and at that moment he had a story. Click on his story, and there's a picture of, he likes to post a bunch of pictures, but he has a picture of his bicep and a tattoo. And then in Serbian letters, Cyrillic, which is a different kind of alphabet we use, there's a word God. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is great. This must be a Serbian guy. So I'm not shy kind of person. So I just go ahead and DM him. I'm like, oh my goodness, I see you all over in Instagram, internet. Good for you. Are you Serbian? Do you speak Serbian? I just start relating right away. And he responds, which was even more shocking to me. It's a guy that has 5 million followers, and he responds, he's like, no, actually, I'm not Serbian, I'm Bulgarian, but thank you so much for your support. It means a lot. I leave it at that. So I started following him, of course, thank him for responding. And then later on, I'm like, okay, I used to like jump roping when I was kid, so let me try, So I'm like, okay, let me go on Amazon and buy his jump rope, and he's not there. So I'm like, wait a minute, how is it not there? Then I follow his link. His link takes me to a website that's in Switzerland. He lives there. And I'm like, okay, if I go to buy his rope, I'm gonna have to pay for customs, pay for delivery, wait, I don't know how long. And, like us being used to Amazon, living here, we're so impatient. Everything comes overnight. I just go on Amazon and buy whatever the cheapest rope they were selling. I start jumping. It's not working. I'm like, okay, and so on and so forth. Anyway, I win some competition. Like, he started an app where he's teaching people how to jump. And I was one of the first 20 to sign up, and he sent everyone a rope. So he sent me his rope, and I start using it, and I realize I'm good at it, and I'm getting better and better. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually love this rope. I think there's a difference because of the rope. It's not tangling. It's not annoying me. And I really like all those benefits that he's listing out. I like really feel the feedback, and I actually fall in love with the product. And then I reach out to him. I'm like, what are you doing? I have to ask you, I'm sorry if I'm overstepping or anything, but what are you thinking? Why are you not on Amazon in this day and age? And his response was, how do I do it? And that's where the idea for my business came. So then I just go ahead and I'm like, okay, so I know a little bit about it. I've researched it. I've spent many, many hours on YouTube and whatnot researching how to do it. I'm sure 7 years later, everything changed. The idea is the same, but a lot of policies are different, and the platform itself is different. And I'm like, well, if you want, we can talk. I can help you out. So I started a business. We talked and arranged everything. It took us a few months to iron out all the details and how the business is going to work and the shipments and everything. So it took us a little bit, but we finally agreed on the best practice. And so yeah, we started talking, I think it was February, March last year. And we launched in June or end of July last year. So it's been only a few months, but that's how my business started.
Oh wow, what an interesting coincidence and collaboration with this influencer.
Yes.
So you've launched this product with this influencer, correct?
Yes, his name is Diane Olive. I'm sure some people watching would know, or if not, you can look it up and see what I mean.
Yeah, so I mean, I looked at the listing. It looks great. The product looks great. The listing looks great, and you can tell right away that the page is getting a ton of sales a month. And I'm curious, like, is there anything competitive? I mean, jumping ropes are, they've been around for so long. So like, how did you feel like, okay, this could be a good product idea to sell on Amazon, or what was your edge there?
So I honestly, as I told you, I looked at it as a consumer. So I looked at it through someone that really loved the product, genuinely loved the product. And I just saw potential that, it's there. I asked him how much he's selling. He gave me his information. And there's a fine line right now that we really can't cross. And that's why he's not promoting Amazon as much, because we don't want to take away his traffic. So he has a store clearly on his website, through his website where he's selling, where he does not have all the Amazon fees. So here we have Amazon fees, and then we're trying to capture the audience that is going to do the same thing I did, to be honest, to go on his website and say, forget about it. I don't want to wait for this. I don't want to, pay whatever delivery or not. I'm a Prime member. I want it tomorrow. So we want to give those people option that to be able and just go ahead and buy it. So that's what I just saw. I just saw a huge potential, and I think the store itself is showing. Like, we ran ads for very, very short period of time, but then we stopped because honestly, it's doing pretty much the same with or without ads, which tells you a lot about the product.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're getting a lot of influencer marketing through him. People are just going on Amazon, looking him up, and finding the product on Amazon and ordering it. And
Yes.
obviously that's gonna push the listing on top of the search results. So now if people are searching for jumping rope, his is gonna show up, or yours is going to show up on the top of the search results, because it's getting a ton of orders. I had a question though. Did you do any market research? And because I noticed it's a PVC jumping rope, and it looks really cool. I love the design. It's very sleek, very few colors. Did you do any market research and you're like, okay, these other jumping ropes are not great, I'm gonna get this one? I noticed that it says one of the features is that the handles don't break. Tell me a little bit about like the market research. Is it the same exact product that he's selling, or did you come in and like, oh, let's change this a little bit?
Yes, so it's his design. It's his baby. So that's another thing. He started it from scratch. He started it from again, passion for jumping. He lost 10 of weight like this. There's a whole story, and I'm just retelling his story. But he's very particular about quality, about design, about how everything looks, and I am 100% supportive there. I have my suggestions sometimes, and he takes it or it doesn't. He's the brand owner, so it's a little bit different when it's your product and how much freedom you have, and understanding when you're almost running it for someone else. So you cannot overstep. So I am not changing design. I can definitely. So yes, as far as to answer your question, as far as the research of the market, clearly he's been doing this since 2021, and he keeps close eye on competition. And he developed this product because he tested out, I don't know if he tested 100 ropes, but I'm sure he did, till he found the one that he actually likes and branded it. Actually, I don't know if he developed it and asked to be produced with 5 millimeters and this weight and whatnot, or he actually came across it and then just decided to brand it. I'm not exactly sure how that went, but he did that testing. I did all the research that I could through the Seller Central, whatever we're able to see on our competition, and Helium 10, and I use those two platforms to kind of gather information. So there are competitors out there that are doing great, that are doing better as far as sales, but we've been on Amazon for a few months now. So I am very pleased with our results. So, but yeah, I mean, a lot of clients, a lot of buyers even write in our comments like, oh, I bought this and this brand. I'm not going to say anything negative, of course, right now, but I bought this and this brand. I heard all about them, but then the handles were too short, or it's not a good product until I found Swiss Skip. And then, everything changed. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your research on Helium 10 and what exactly did you do there?
So I did not, I had it honestly for a few months. And then I decided to stop with it. But I did research around keywords, which were important. Realized how many of other brands use keywords Diane Kolev, which was shocking. That's kind of like understanding how Amazon works and how algorithm and everything works, which I was really surprised to see. Like all the main competitors, they all have Diane Kolev in their keywords, which you type in Diane Kolev, it takes you to their page. So or Swiss Skip. So those two kind of were main. And then of course I looked how much they make with different kind of ropes. So we have beaded rope, we have PVC. We're gonna launch the heavy rope soon. So kind of like to see where the sales are and how much of market there is for all these products.
I love that. Honestly, it's such a cool opportunity that landed in your lap, and how fun to see the results in a few months. I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is a really successful product. So one of the things that I usually do here is I dive into the startup journey of the product. So it might be limited in this case since he already designed the product and launched the product line. It might be limited here, but usually I get into like packaging design, logo, the photography. Are you able to comment on those aspects? Did you take any part with the design of these products, or were you getting like shipments from his product and shipping it to Amazon? Can you elaborate a little bit on this?
Sure. So yes, as I told you, story might be interesting for someone that is trying to do the same I am doing and collaborate with someone that has already a product that's successful and going, because I've really was like spoiled in that sense that I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do any design and breaking my brain over is it gonna work, is it gonna fit or not. So I just had to research. So let's say shipment wise, when we place an order, we have to make sure we have at least 5 boxes of the same to avoid that. I forgot what's that fee, but there's a fee that you pay if you have less than 5 boxes. So in that sense, I'm supporting and kind of telling them what we need and what we have to do. But as far as photography, packaging, videos, I really don't touch that. I just tell him what I need. And just say, I really need some new photos, so send them along. And then he goes and does his photo shoot or whatever, and sends me what I need. So, but it's a pretty successful collaboration, I want to say at this point. As I said, I'm not really getting into changing much. I do have some suggestions on what could work, what colors to incorporate, but I'm not touching design. He's
How
very
fun though.
about it.
You're doing all the fun work and leaving all the heavy load on him.
Pretty
I love
much.
that. So you're not dealing with the manufacturing, you're not dealing with the shipping, you're not dealing with the package design, photography, business structure.
So yes, I am dealing with so he has a manufacturer in China, and I have their contact info. I contact them directly when needed. I order exactly what we need. We of course agree on quantities and colors and all that. I arrange the whole shipping and create labels and all that. I took care of all the UPC barcodes, make sure the labeling is correct. Then
are you putting the labels yourself, or are you asking the manufacturer in China to put the labels?
So there's an interesting story there. When we first started, Diane sent me a box from Switzerland with 72 jump ropes. And of course, they were not labeled. And then I went and labeled each one myself, repackaged them, and sent them to here from New Hampshire. And then that sold out. I don't know how quickly. I want to say probably within 10 days. With zero advertising. That was even shocking to me when, first orders started to come in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he didn't even mention it, so it's not linked anywhere. It's just curious people just like me going on Amazon just to search for his rope. And then he sent me a box of 50 directly, so I labeled then one box, and I think then we realized, okay, we have business, so we started ordering from China, ordering bigger quantities. And then all the orders from China come already pre-labeled.
Nice. And do they come to you, or do you ship them straight to the Amazon fulfillment center?
Straight to Amazon, and we do by plane. We haven't done by boat yet. I'm kind of tempted to try. I see the cost saving is there. But it's just so convenient. It comes within probably 10 days of shipping. So
this is a really cool opportunity, actually. Like, I feel like anyone could reach out to an influencer who doesn't know how to utilize Amazon and be like, hey, can I help you launch your product on Amazon? And you're the US representative for his brand. Yeah, you're the US representative. So you launched in July, right? And so tell me a little bit about your launch. How are you feeling, and how much did you make in July of 2024?
I have to look back to my notes. Sorry, because I do not remember numbers. But I believe we sold around 20 something ropes in July.
20 ropes?
No. Sorry. I think around 70. We sold the first box that came in. First month revenue was 5,000, selling fee was 750, so we made about $4,000.
Nice. And you sold the entire box. How did you
Yes,
feel?
yes.
How did he feel? How was the whole experience?
I was so excited. Diane was not really excited. I was really surprised. I'm like, how are you not excited? I guess, you've been in business for 3-4 years and you're just starting one more thing. I guess it's just another thing to think about for him. And then we sold the first box. We sold the next 50 he sent me. We sold the next, I think he sent me 2 more boxes of 72. So when we saw all that out, then he's like, okay, we need to talk. And I'm like, okay, what do we need to talk about? He's like, this is getting serious. I'm like, I've been serious since beginning. So we're friends, so we can kind of joke. At this point, we're friends. It started off as me just DMing me influencers saying, good job. I'm so happy that, you're from my corner of the world and doing so well. So, but yeah, now we can joke like that. He's like, okay, we're getting serious now. I'm like, I've been serious since beginning, but I just saw it as kind of like a vision that it's going to happen. It's going to be great. And I was happy I was able to prove it to him.
How much were you ordering from the manufacturer when you started ordering from them?
So our first order was for 500 ropes. So that's, I don't know if it got lost and with the whole connection piece, but that's when Diane called me and said, okay, we need to talk seriously. This is turning into a serious business, and we're starting to invest serious money. So that first order he placed, I did all the logistics of it, on the Amazon side. So where you have to go in and create the order, connect with the manufacturers, send them all the labels, tell them how you want them packaged. So I was adamant about them packing it in 5 equal boxes to avoid paying, I believe it was 30 cents per rope. That's what Amazon quoted us. That's not, just so people know, that's not for every product out there, but that's what they quoted us. So that's a huge savings right there, just for them packaging it the way you want it packaged. So and then so my part is I communicate with his manufacturer. We have already design established. I just tell him I need this color, I need this many, and then we work out payments. So once we started making money and there was good amount coming in, I was able to start paying for all the products myself. And that was one of the kind of like aha moments that you don't know, and you don't know the background. You just see, oh my goodness, they're selling so much and whatnot, and you're an entrepreneur, but no one really tells you that you're probably not going to see a penny of your hard-earned money for a long time, So it takes a lot to put back into your business and to invest and to get, especially when you're adding different variations to your product. So let's say we have beaded, we have pink rope, white rope, black rope. Now we're getting black heavy, and there's so many other colors that he has on his website that I eventually want to have in our portfolio. But it's just it takes a lot of money, because you're not going to order, there's MOQs, you're not going to order 10 of each color and see how it goes. You have to order, in our case it's 500, and then see how it goes. And then when you need to reorder that color and then add another one. So it's a lot of investing before you actually start reaping the fruits of your labor.
Yeah. And how much are you buying the rope for, and how much are you selling it for on Amazon?
That, unfortunately, I cannot discuss, just because, as I said, I'm just a middleman.
Okay.
So that's the
fine.
only.
Yeah, you want to keep
I can
that
tell you how much
confidential.
yes, I can tell you we're selling it at around $23 to $25 at this point. So I'm sure heavy rope will be a little bit more. We didn't
And
discuss the number yet, but that's approximately what our competitors are doing as well.
what is the contract between you and the influencer, for this business that you started with him?
Yes. So our initial agreement, it stayed till this day, and I believe this is how it's going to go forward, just because it works both ways. So I am getting a small cut from every rope that we sell. So in return, I run the whole store. I just tell them when I need, more pictures, more marketing. We discuss things, of course, but I'm pretty much running the whole show. Any issues here, any customer related issues here, I take care of. And in return, I just get the percentage from each rope sold. So that was and it, as I said, it works, and it could be beneficial to someone who's kind of starting the same and doesn't know how to kind of structure the whole operation. So yes,
Did
I
you
am the
set up
one. Go ahead.
Did you set up your own LLC?
Yes. So I started LLC. It's called One Commerce Team, and I'm the only the owner and the only member of the company. So Diane is not on the company. This is my company, and then I am pretty much just doing business through this company. So when Amazon asks you, do you want to register this as sole proprietor or a legal entity, I went ahead with a legal entity just to be more protected.
And is this account under your LLC, or is it under both of you?
So account is under my LLC. The store, once we got the brand registry done, the store is named Swiss Skip because it just makes sense. Until then, it was called One Commerce Team, but yes, now the store is Swiss Skip, and we're selling solely Swiss Skip products. I'm not selling anything else at this point.
Did you file for the trademark yourself as well, or did he already have a trademark?
No, he did not have a trademark, and that was one of the first things, just because I learned so much through setting up this business and how much Amazon is harping on you to get your trademark, to get brand registry going. And that was one of the first serious conversations I had with him, that he needs to protect himself and his business. And now we're actually seeing that it's smart to do. And he filed for trademark on his end. He filed it for worldwide, I believe, just because he's selling worldwide as well.
And you were able to use it on the account, right?
Yes. So he gave me the application number that they gave him, and then I was able to use it on the account. So whoever is in the process or will get into the process, this might be beneficial. Amazon sent me an email saying that there's a special code that was sent to the applicant. So, and they gave me some agency or lawyers contact information to go ahead and reach out and get the code. So then I reached out to them. They were not able to give it to me since I'm not the applicant. So then that code was forwarded over to the agency that Diane used to file trademark applications. So it took us 3 tries, but we did it. The emails got lost on every step of the way, but yes, I filed 3 times more. And we
Nice.
finally did it. Yes.
Yeah, that's really good to know, for someone who wants to do a similar business model.
Exactly. So if you are not the one filing for the application, it will eventually travel over and get to the brand owner, the person that actually filed for it. So
That makes sense.
yes.
And as you know, on this channel, we love revenue, we love numbers, we love breakdowns. You want to break it down for us last year, every month, how much
Sure. Yes.
revenue
I
you
pulled it up.
brought?
I have it on my phone. So sorry
Okay.
for looking down, but
No, you're good.
Yes. So July, and I'm telling you for USA, I have also Canada and Mexico. They kind of came automatically with starting the USA account. So, but they're significantly less. So let's just focus on USA numbers if you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
so July, we did 23 units. Then August, we did 99 units. And let me
Are you
see.
able to give me like revenue and profit
Yes.
of these months?
Yes. So first month, first 10 days, we sold $529 worth of product. Then next month was 2,276. Then the following
2000.
month, yes, 2,000. Then
And
Mhm.
and if you don't mind me asking, do you know what's the net profit from these after all the cost, after all the fees and everything?
I don't, unfortunately, I did not prepare well. I
Oh,
did not
okay.
went into, yes, but pretty much Amazon is taking the third of it. So that's something that I've noticed. It's a third. I'm guessing it's for everyone. And then, once we pay off China, and I want to say we did not take any money out till the very last of the year. I paid myself, and Diane paid himself, I believe, first time in February. So we started in July, and we were just reinvesting constantly. So that's what I was telling you earlier about that you really don't know. You think it's all, you start a business, all of a sudden you're making money and you're great, but it's a lot of reinvesting.
It makes sense. You want to buy more inventory, you want to ship it back, you want to
Yeah.
reinvest until you're making quite significantly more. Okay, so keep going. I didn't mean to stop you.
Oh, no worries. No worries. That's a good question. I'm sorry. I just don't have it. Yeah. I'm just reading off the app. You know how app just doesn't break it down for you. You can
Yeah.
just see the sales. So then this was September was 3,950. Our October was pretty good. It was 8,162. Then
Does it say how
November,
many units?
and that was, so October was 355 units.
300. Okay.
And then November was 792 units. Our sales were 17,900.
Okay.
So yes, it exploded.
That's really super exciting.
Yes, that's around Black Friday. Black Friday, we did really well. Then December came. We made 22,700, and that was 953 units sold.
Wow.
Then watch this, January.
New Year
1,000.
resolutions.
Yes. The highest selling day for us was January 1st. And I had 83 units sold on a single day. And remember,
Wow.
we started with a box of 72. So I was beyond myself. And honestly, of course, like there's a financial aspect. It's great, but I just love seeing numbers. I don't know if you have the same feeling when you see your product. It's kind of like your baby, like, and you watch it grow, and it's so satisfying. To me, that's just like, kind of like I give myself a little pat in the back saying, what a good idea you had.
I love it.
Yeah. Then let me go back to February. We did pretty similar as January, but I didn't give you January numbers yet. So we sold 1,517 units, and that was $36,000 revenue.
Amazing.
Yes. Then February we did $37,000, and that was 1,500 units sold.
Wow. Wow. When did you start adding more SKUs? Because you started with one SKU, right?
Yes, we started with white rope, and I want to say the second month already I had pink rope and white rope.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So
then you added the black one as well, right?
we added the beaded one, I believe, and then the black one. The beaded one is doing okay. But it's kind of understandable just because it is the most appealing to beginners. And then the accelerate the speed rope is kind of appealing to beginners and the more professional jump ropers and more seasoned.
Mm. And last thing I would like to ask you is, what is something that you may have done that, like, maybe it was a mistake or a learning experience that maybe cost you money that you learned from?
Yeah, so I want to say this, the protection that the brand needs. I would say again, it's not my brand, but if we knew that we could get sellers, like fake sellers selling your rope, and Amazon just does nothing about it, just lets them do it, I would probably we would probably start this process sooner. So right now, let me just give you a little bit of backstory. Right now, we have an issue where we have at least 2 to 3 sellers, fake sellers, appear on our Mexico store, on our Canada store, and USA store. The only way for me to kind of appeal this and complain about this is I have to order their rope. I have to have the order number, go through different channels, and say, hey, this person is using my brand name but selling fake ropes. So I would say that brand registry, but that's not enough. Right now we have brand registry, but just because our account is still pending trademark, they're not able to fully protect us. So there's different steps of protection that we will get once the rope is fully trademarked, once the brand is fully trademarked. I forgot what's the name of the process, but there's something like Zero, Amazon Zero. I don't know if you heard about that, right?
I did hear about it, yeah, but I think that works for if you have a patent, right?
So I'm not sure. I feel like I'll have to read up on it and kind of cross the bridge once we get there. But at this point, I came up with an idea to put it in description. That's all I could do at this point. So I put in description, attention buyers, please make sure when you're checking out, you look at the store and make sure to check out from Swiss Skip store so you don't get scammed. Because then there's another thing that's really bothering me. A few buyers bought the fake rope because they run sales, and they have the buy box, and it's ridiculous. It's really upsetting me, And then you buy this discounted rope, you get it, and then you realize it's not Swiss Skip rope. It's some cheap knockoff. It doesn't even have anything on handles or has a different company name.
Oh no!
And then those buyers are able to go back under my listing and write comments. So I have 3 1 stars with pictures where people say, do not buy this is a scam. The amount of times I reached out to Amazon about this to complain and to say, please remove this because this does not pertain to my product, they just don't want to do anything about it. It's really sad that your little business is in their hands, and they're like, they didn't say anything to violate our policy. I'm like, I understand they're not violating your policy, but this is not, they did not buy my product. Then when I tell them, they ask me, give me the order number. I'm like, I don't see order number, because when you hover over contact the customer, it says you cannot contact the customer because you did not sell them this product. So it's very annoying. It's like so many little glitches like that you have to fight over and fight over. So I would say protect yourself as much as you can. Protect your product as best as you can. If you can afford to do the trademark, do it even before you start Amazon, because it's a lengthy process. It's definitely a few months long process.
Do you think that happened to you before the brand registry? Is it or after?
It happened right while we were in the process of doing brand registry. So it started happening right before, and then once we were brand registered, it just kept on happening. So I'm not sure. like setting up the business it's a little different when you sell your own product. I'm sure you go through a different process versus when you're selling someone else's brand. The amount of paperwork that I had to submit saying that I am legally selling this product, I am not infringing on his rights and whatnot. I had to have signed statements from Diane saying that I am the only one allowed to sell this product. And then you see these fake sellers popping up. I'm like, who gave them the permission? Like, how in the world is Amazon just taking someone's word that, they're going to sell our product? So
yeah, this is really frustrating that Amazon does that. This is the retail arbitrage and wholesale option that Amazon allows, and we're trying to learn how to avoid these from happening. But this is how retail arbitrage works. And technically, you're supposed to be selling the same product, but when they sell other products, that's
it's
not
not
good.
fair to us, but it's very much not fair to customer.
Right.
Because they don't have a separate page. They're literally under my listing. So they see all my pictures, they see all my text, and they think they're selling this product. So it's just, I don't know. There's got to be a way that Amazon can figure this out, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, thankfully, I mean, your ratings is still high and you have a decent amount of ratings. So hopefully it doesn't get worse than that.
Yes.
But for sure, that has stolen money from your pocket, because these sellers are stealing money from your product, basically, and they're not selling your product because you're not selling in retail. And neither are you selling at wholesale, so they're literally selling someone else's product under your listing. So yeah, Amazon needs to do something about this.
And when you look at the company and when you look at the store and whatnot, it's usually just created. You can see it's a scam, and when you look at the company's address, one of them was, first of all, name is this long. You can't even fit in one line. It's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then the address is like happy, what was it? Chinese New Year was one of the addresses of the business. How in the world are they accepting this? You know how much we have to go through, the regular sellers have to go through to prove your address, to prove everything. So that you're a legit business. So I really don't understand how is this happening. But we're just hoping that it's kind of like a glitch and that they will work on this and fix it.
Yeah, totally. And if you had to put like a monetary value on this, how much do you think they've stolen from your sales? Probably a few $1,000s.
Probably a few $1,000s, I would say. Yes. And definitely on days when and that's another very annoying thing, on days when sellers appear and they're usually in the ballpark of our price. So I'm kind of hoping that people don't go for something that's 10 cents cheaper. Just, I'm hoping that they're reading where they're getting their product from. But there's days when they go with like $16, which is huge sales comparing to our $24, $25 rope. On those days, I have a lot of returns. So people that bought the day before and maybe went in to check where is their order, see it for $16. Of course, they're going to return theirs and go for the cheaper option. So it's definitely costing me money, and I'm very much upset that Amazon is not doing anything about it.
Yeah, that's really frustrating. Was there anything else, any like unexpected fees or expenses that you weren't expecting, or any other mistake that maybe cost you some money and you're like, oh, I wish I did this differently?
No, really, as far as mistakes, but yes, unexpected cost that just came in an email a few days ago. Since we made over $10,000 in a certain month, now we qualify for insurance. So now we need to pay for commercial insurance. So right now I'm in the market looking for the best quote, and feel free to send me some if you have a good company that does it for you. But yes, I got two quotes so far. One was for 1,300, one was for 1,500. So it's not cheap again, but it's just something that, as I said, being a new business owner, you kind of learn as you go.
Yeah,
That was the newest surprising fact.
yeah, you have to get a commercial insurance, liability insurance after you sell over $10,000 in one day. I think that's or in 1 month.
In
I
one
think.
month. In 1 month, yes.
Um, yeah. And was there anything else, or I mean, I think the last one. I mean, I think one thing that I could think of is maybe you starting sooner, because you said you left this 7 years ago and now you're coming back to it. And I was just wondering, like, if you started 7 years ago, you would have been on that Amazon train long time ago. So how do
True.
you feel about that? Like, are you excited that you did it? And
I am so proud of myself. I have to tell you, I'm one of those people that doesn't really celebrate, like, I've been promoted at jobs and whatnot, and I'm not really, I feel very good about it, but I'm not the one to boast to all my friends and family, like, oh, a promotion or something like that. Even this business, a lot of people don't know that I'm doing, but the internal satisfaction is huge. It's something that I kind of, especially being in this stage of my life with little kids, and being able to run something that's successful and still being able to come up with ideas and inspire others, and kind of be, the wind under their wings, to kind of start something new and something risky. It's very, very satisfying. So I'm hoping that one day I'm going to have my own product. I'm talking to a few people definitely about some more ideas, so hopefully you might have me again.
yeah, I would love that. You
Presenting you.
definitely entered the market with a whole new idea, validation, or finding a new way into the Amazon business. So I love that.
Yes. So I mean, I am definitely open to working with brands like this. There's a few brands in Serbia that I have my eye out on, and I'm just kind of building up the courage to ask them about it, and to kind of say, hey, there's a very cool way of you making even more money, kind of like how I approach that. But I do pick and choose, and working with someone that's so successful leaves big shoes to fill. So if I do partner up with someone again, I do expect them to pull their weight and do, great marketing and all that. And I'm going to support them from this side. So
I love that. Well, that's really inspiring. And thank you for coming on the podcast and sharing your story. I think a lot of people are going to find it very inspiring. It's so cool what you've done and how you were able to pull this together, and it's super exciting. Congratulations on all the success.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really hope that this will help someone, even like who's thinking a little shy about asking and whatnot. Just don't be shy. You live once. So just go ahead, just ask questions. You'll never get anything if you don't ask, so you never know what can happen.
Totally. All right, thank you again.
Yes, my pleasure.